The alien girl's soulmate indicator glowed, and it pointed to a human. They say destiny only glows once, and when it does, you can't hide from it. For Lyrenn, that glow was supposed to be a blessing, a sign that her soul had finally found its pair. But on the night her soulmate indicator came alive, it didn't point to another of her kind, it pointed to a human. What happens when the universe makes a mistake? When two beings born on worlds that should never have touched are forced to face the light that binds them? This is the story of the girl who touched a human and vanished into legend. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that remind us what it means to be human, even among the stars. Now, let's begin Illyra 7, a world bathed in lavender skies and ruled by symmetry. Every life form here followed patterns written long before birth. Emotions were measured, catalogued, recorded, and love was not a choice. It was a signal. Every Illyrian was born with a crystalline mark just beneath the skin, a small fragment of biolight called a soulmate indicator. It glowed once in a lifetime when its other half was near. When two matched, the light of their souls intertwined, creating a perfect resonance the entire city could see. It was rare, sacred, and absolutely predictable. Lyrenn had waited 24 cycles for hers to glow. It never did. Her peers whispered the word glowless as if it were a curse. To them she was broken, destined to serve in laboratories, never to love. But Lyrenn didn't care. Or so she told herself. She studied humans instead. Creatures from the neighboring star colonies. Loud, emotional, unrefined. They fascinated her because they felt. They laughed too much. They cried too easily. They were chaos wrapped in flesh. When the human exploration vessel, Erebus, landed on Illyra 7 for joint research, Lyrenn was assigned as liaison. Her duty was simple: guide the crew, answer their questions, keep them from touching anything. But the human technician assigned to her, Elias, was trouble from the start. He was curious, always smiling, always breaking the sterile silence of Illyrian labs. He hummed tunes from Earth when he worked. He called her Lyr, saying her full name sounded too serious. She found him irritating. Until one afternoon, in the crystal caverns of the South Ridge, he reached out his hand to steady her as she slipped. Their skin touched for less than a second, and the world stopped breathing. A current ran through her body. Not pain, not pleasure, something beyond both. The veins beneath her wrist began to glow. Not silver as Illyrians did, but gold. Pure, radiant gold. She stumbled back, eyes wide, as the light flared through her arm like fire trapped under glass. The scanners on their suits started beeping wildly, energy levels spiking beyond measurable limits. Elias froze. Lyrenn, what's happening? She didn't answer. She couldn't. Every Illyrian nearby had stopped moving, staring at her in disbelief. A human had touched her and triggered a soulmate indicator, something no living being had ever done. Within minutes, alarms rang across the colony. Scientists, soldiers, priests, all summoned to witness the anomaly. They called it a contamination event. She was taken for examination, locked in a containment sphere. Elias was quarantined, and the glowing mark on her wrist refused to fade. Days passed. They ran every test known to both species: gene analysis, neural mapping, quantum resonance scans. Nothing explained it. By all logic, a human and an Illyrian couldn't bond. Their biofrequencies were incompatible, and yet, every time Elias walked near her cell, the mark brightened, pulsing like a heartbeat. Lyrenn tried to ignore it, to reason it away, but when she closed her eyes at night, she could feel him, not his voice, his presence. A warmth that hummed softly inside her, like her very atoms remembered him. The council ordered separation. Elias would be sent back to his ship. Lyrenn would be purified, the bond forcibly severed. That night, before the procedure, she sat alone in her containment chamber, watching the gold light flicker faintly under her skin. Her reflection in the glass looked like a ghost of herself, pale, frightened, but somehow alive for the first time. And then quietly she whispered, "Why you?" Outside, a door hissed open. Elias stood there, bruised, exhausted, but smiling that same human smile she had tried so hard not to remember. He'd broken every regulation, bypassed every security code just to reach her. "Because maybe the universe isn't broken," he said softly. "Maybe it just wanted to surprise us. Before she could reply, guards stormed the corridor. Sirens screamed. Elias grabbed her hand again, and the entire chamber filled with golden light. The glow was so bright it bled through the walls, flooding the hallways, the sky, the horizon itself. Sensors went blind. Communications failed. Every Illyrian watching fell to their knees as the resonance surged into the planet's atmosphere. No one knows exactly what happened in that moment. Some say they vanished instantly, dissolved into pure energy. Others swear they saw two silhouettes, in the center of the light, hands intertwined, faces calm, before the glow imploded into silence. When the systems rebooted hours later, the chamber was empty. No trace of Lyrenn, no trace of Elias, only a faint shimmer of gold dust on the floor, and the sound of the planet's core humming. A note never heard before, weeks, turned into months. The Illyrian Council tried to erase the incident, claiming it was an experiment gone wrong, but whispers spread across the colonies. Scientists who analyzed the residual energy found something beautiful. Within the light spectrum left behind, there was a frequency no instrument could replicate, one that responded to emotion. When someone felt empathy or love, the energy would pulse faintly. They called it the Lyrenn pattern. Across the galaxy, stories began to surface of humans and aliens forming strange, unexplainable connections. Machines would flicker gold for just a heartbeat when they held hands. Children born under mixed bloodlines would dream of lavender skies. No one could prove the connection, but everyone felt it, that the universe had changed, just a little, on the day Lyrenn touched a human. Years later, in the ruins of the old Illyrian colony, a traveler found something buried under crystal dust, a small fragment of glassy stone, still faintly glowing gold. When he held it to the light, it hummed softly like a heartbeat, and if he listened closely, he could almost hear voices, distant, overlapping, human and alien together, like one whispering, "Love doesn't need permission. It only needs contact. Somewhere, out there beyond the mapped stars, there's a legend. They say when two souls from different worlds meet, when one reaches out to steady the other, the universe holds its breath. And sometimes, just sometimes, a faint golden flicker answers, as if remembering, because maybe destiny doesn't make mistakes. Maybe it just speaks in a language we've forgotten how to hear." If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cinematic tales from worlds that test what it means to be human. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What do you think happened to Lyrenn and Elias? Were they erased or reborn as light?